Good everybody, welcome to the Trader Cobb Crypto Show. It's really good to have you. It's a Monday here in sunny Sydney, Australia, and I hope you've had a fantastic weekend. Hey, wanted to do a video of this and put it across everything as well. So if you're not following me already, get me on Twitter, Facebook, YouTube. Just look for Trader Cobb, C-O-B-B, and jump across. If you can't find it, can't remember that, just go to tradercobb.com and all my socials are there on the website too, so make sure you get onto that. Look, I wanted to start this podcast by going through and talking about the trade of the week. Now, most of you, or many of you, will know that I do a bi-weekly video news, and it's completely free. You just got to go to the website and submit your details, and you'll get 2 emails a week from us with trading-related content in the form of a video. So not just a verbal, but a video as well. Now, last week I put a video that talking about the Binance against Bitcoin trade, which was back on the 31st of January. It has since moved on to at least 2-to-1. It's finding a little bit of resistance there as I thought it might. We smashed through that. There's plenty of room to the upside. I really like the way that Binance is playing out at the moment. And it's just a really lovely trend. Of course, I'm a trend follower, so I'm always looking to stick with those trends. I just like the Binance model as well. It's, of course, still got market share for the most part of real volume across the crypto sector, so it does have a good business. I don't know how much they're spending. I don't know if they're profitable, but there is a revenue model that is set, which is more than can be said for many tokens. Now, as far as the top 10 goes, I mean, if I look at Bitcoin right now, we are sitting in a position where we are down 2.31%. Now, keep in mind, that's on Sunday volume. Now, Saturdays and Sundays, i.e. weekends, tend to have a little bit less volume, a little bit less volatility, and we quite often see the market do very little. Now, most of the buying that occurred over the weekend happened over a very short period of time. As you'll note, it was around about 9 a.m., that's my time, where we saw a move of, what was it, it's only about $60, $70. But let's not forget that the ranges are getting much smaller. And since then, it has been selling off, and it does look quite bearish still for me. Now, I can still very much see 3,000 on the cards. It's only $480 away. And it seems to be a magnetism pulling down with the monthly, the weekly, and now, of course, the daily with lower highs and lower lows. The probability is that we may get there, down 2.3% right now. Ethereum against the dollar also had a very similar day to Bitcoin, which is really of no surprise whatsoever. We're sitting back in that cradle zone, in and around that 10 and 20 period moving average area. A breakdown of this candle probably spell, or potentially spell, I should say, the next wave of selling to the downside. But right now, again, the monthly, the weekly, and the daily all looking very bearish, so the downtrend looks set to continue. EOS is still very much within its range. Sorry, and Ethereum's down 3.92%. EOS is down 3.35%, very much within that range between, look, it was roughly about $2.30, $2.25 to about $3. That's the rough range that we've been sitting in, bouncing between. We're definitely on the lower side of that, being that the price is at $2.40. And it really seems to be having a hard time trying to climb back towards that $3 mark, which of course is 60 cents away. Still looking quite bearish. Cardano, 3.64% down, and still sitting within that range. Again, the daily, the weekly, and the monthly all looking quite bearish at the moment. That downtrend still looks pretty strong to me. Stellar Lumens has been leading out the selling for the most part. It was holding so well for quite a period last year until, of course, November, and for which we did see Stellar Lumens break down. Now we are a bit extended. We've sort of held in that downward momentum, and on Sunday we did see it break down to new lows for 2019 and also new lows for 2018. So pretty significant, the fact that we've pushed down through those levels. Be interesting to see how we bounce back, if we bounce back at all. IOTA also down 4.4% right now, looking quite bearish, but nothing really to talk about there other than the daily, weekly, and monthly all being bearish as well. Again, the whole market swinging more towards likelihood of moving down. That momentum seems to be there at the moment. Ripple is down 3.5%, sitting around that 30-cent mark again, roughly around the same point that we saw it bounce from mid-September, where we did see it head back towards that 80-cent mark. Obviously a long way from that right now, holding in that downtrend and continuing to fall. The exception to the rule has been Litecoin, and Litecoin is slightly, it's not up on the day, but it is slightly up over that same period where everything else has been in more or less a downtrend. Litecoin is down 3.5% today, but the interesting point that I want to make here is that whilst everything else has been falling for the last sort of week or two, we've seen Litecoin actually stabilize. And if I'm honest, there is a higher low and there is a higher high. Now, by no means is it a good uptrend for very good trading opportunities, but it's definitely there and it's looking a lot more bullish than a lot of the other markets at the moment. So that's worthwhile taking note of. Bitcoin Cash, once again, still holding in that downward momentum. A bit of a messy weekend, still holding up around the high of the around, inside of that cradle zone, which is in and around that 10 and 20 period moving average, the equilibrium point. We move in, we move away, we move in, we move away, and that's why I trade from there often, and that's what my courses are about. It's about using these zones and increasing your probability of success in those zones. So again, you can see it in there, not quite looking all that to the bullish side, sitting around that 119, down 3.65%. Finally, Monero sitting on that support of $43 or thereabouts, just tapping below it right now. We're down 2%, but I am watching that. If you keep an eye on that 43, if we do break down properly, pullbacks into that level will certainly be opportunities for trades for myself. So guys, if you are watching this on Facebook or Twitter or YouTube, please make sure that you get across to the website tradercobb.com. That's C-O-B-B. Register for the free video newsletter each week. And also, this is the Trader Cobb Crypto Podcast. So subscribe to the podcast, and I look forward to bringing you more content each and every day. If you haven't already, go and listen to the Vinny Lingham interview I did last week. It's an absolute cracker. The man runs Civic, and he's done a lot of good stuff. You have a great week. I'll speak to you again tomorrow. Bye for now.